Hey world, hey universe, wishing all of you an awesome and exciting 2021 ahead. And so this is the this Merry Christmas appearance for all of you. Like I know that we now have 2021, like the clean board that you see. It's like the clean board that you see in the background. Like now we have the opportunity to rewrite the stories, to create our own stories. So I'm going to be sharing some happy news with my beloved community here, and then also tell you some excitements that are lying ahead in front of my professional life. Okay. So without further ado, let me start to share what I have for all of you here. Okay. So this is my I would just have to make some minor adjustments so that I'm able to see my own screen and present this. Okay. Okay, so here we go. And so what I'm going to do is that first I'm going to talk about some of the lessons and reflections that I've had in 2020, because as all of you know, it's worthy to just relook at our own lives. Like as Socrates puts it beautifully, the unexamined life is not worth living. It's always important is to kind of pause at every stage in our life, in our career, even in a day for that matter, to just relook at our own day and life and months and years, to look at, okay, are we really going in the right direction? Is the compass really pointing in the right direction? And then, because we have the opportunity to recorrect our direction at any point of time, so it's really important to do that examination. And then the first happy news in that context that I want to share is that I received the South India Women Achievers Award in the Outstanding Professional Woman category for the Let the Soul Speak initiative of mine, like for having to explore something which is not my comfort zone, for that matter, for having stepped out of my comfort zone. So I'm really happy to share this happiness with all of you, because without you this wouldn't have been possible. That's the first happy news. And the second happy news is that as part of this happiness, I received it along with yet another friend of mine, Purnima, who also received award in the same category. Because it's always good when women step out of their comfort zones and then explore their professional lives and also achieve in their professional lives. So it's super happy for me to really have her along when I received the award. So congratulations to both of us. Okay, so that's the first happiness that I wanted to share. The second happiness is about the new journey that I'm going to make, which is after 20 long years of journey in one institution, I'm just going to transition out to yet another country, to yet another place. And so I just wanted to relook at my own 20 years of professional life, including my student life for that matter, because 20 years is really a long time in anyone's life for that matter. Like for me, it's more than half of my lifetime being spent in one particular institution. So it's really important to relook at some of the valuable lessons that I have learned. So I have five lessons in that context to really share with you. So that's what I'm going to do, which is a reviewing of the past 20 years of my professional life. Okay, so the first thing is the lessons learned as part of this journey, because many of you who might be just stepping into a career, or who might be at the mid of your career, or who are in the process of thinking of shifting your careers, I'm really hopeful that these lessons could resonate with you. Okay, so the first lesson that came to me when I really relooked at my 2 decades of career is that I never hesitated to take up challenges, because even beginning from the very first year of my professional journey, I was given opportunities which I really felt is too big for my hat to carry. I felt I was not, having the necessary qualifications and trainings to be able to manage those responsibilities. But even then, I just took it because I really had the sort of, I had the courage to train myself to become that person, who can handle this responsibility. Okay, to equip myself with all the skill set that is necessary to handle the responsibility. So I had that confidence, and so with that confidence, I stepped into those challenges that was offered to me, beginning from the training programs that I had to do from the very first year of my professional life, to even coordinating a floor of like more than 10, 15 people. And so, like, whatever challenges that came along, I always made sure that I never said no. And then I took up that opportunity at the very beginning of my career. That really helped me sort of climb up the ladder in my professional journey very quick. Okay, because people started to believe in my capability, because I had this opportunity to showcase my capabilities. I had this opportunity to prove that I can really excel in whatever task that is given to me, and I was receptive to feedback. So that's the first message. Never ever think that you are not ready to handle anything. There is never a moment where you will feel that you are ready for any given opportunity. So if you feel you are passionate about it, just jump in, dive into the task, and then show what best you can give to that task. Okay, so that's my first message. My second message is that you matter. It is really very important in big organizations, but nonetheless, wherever you are currently, it's important to have goals for yourself, because be it an organization that has 10 people, or be it an organization that has 1500 people like mine, it is important to have goals for yourself, because unless you set goals for yourself, no one is going to set goals for you. Even if the organization has got sort of a career path or whatever it is important for you to have your goals set and then align your goals with the goals of the organization. Okay, unless you do that, you could lose track, and then monotony could set in. You could just become very complacent with your roles and responsibilities, and then you will just become one among the rest. Okay, so if you really want to climb up in the journey of your professional career, it is important to set goals and work hard even if no one is noticing, because it is, many of us think that we need to have these sort of recognition, and then yes, it's important to get recognized, but it is also important to give your best, and then stay committed with that dedication and discipline in your given profession, even if no one is watching. So I think that hard working person, of course I'm not getting into the argument of should you work hard or should you work smart, but I would always consider being committed to the task that is given to you as the topmost priority, because that is going to always establish credibility about yourself. Okay, so set goals for yourself, because you matter to you, and then it's not that people are going to, I mean, you're do not consider that somebody will come and shine the limelight onto you and then they will take you to that next level. No, first you have to set goals and you have to accomplish. The next is, do not wait to be heard. Many of us think that somebody is going to come and ask us about, okay, so what do you really need in your job? Can you, like, what sort of feedback do you want to give? No, it's always important to speak up. Okay, because the three things, as I have told, I put here. The first thing is to speak up for yourself. Like, whenever there is an opportunity, it's important to express your voice your opinions, voice your concerns as well, and then not like sit quiet in meetings. Okay, because unless you speak up, but speak up in a way that is that can be heard, like not like in terms of like speak up a lot, but speak up when you have to. Okay, because if you, otherwise if you just keep quiet, you are never heard. Okay, that's the number one message that I want to give. Number two is to show up. Especially, I know this is how important this is in an year like 2020 that went. There were lots of you know op- I mean, many days were like you've lost motivation, you just felt frustrated, you lost hope, and then in those times it's always like quite normal to feel as if, like I don't really want to show up today. Okay, even if you had to work from home, you really didn't have the sort of excitement and motivation to get up and do the work that has to be done. And I was in a position like when I had joined, I had a very complicated pregnancy, and then I was given, in fact, there was a time when I had to choose between quitting versus continuing, because I really couldn't afford to take long leave, especially I was like a fresher in the job. But then I sort of requested, and then the organization was kind enough to let me sort of hang in that long leave, because I always felt that my career was equally important to me as much as my personal life. So I showed up even when I had all sorts of health issues and difficulties, because I was so passionate about my work, number one. But number two is that I always knew that showing up my best is definitely going to sort of motivate me further. Okay, so please show up even when you don't feel like, because you never know how life is going to change. But I assure you that when you do that, it's definitely going to take you to places. And then the last but not the least thing is, how do you add value? Many times, we always ask this question. So what do I get from this job? What do I get from this organization? What do I get from my workplace? I think the question has to be reversed. It always has to be about, how do you add value to the workplace? Because the moment you change your perspective from taking to contributing to first giving before you receive, I think that attitude changes the whole perspective about not just working, but it's also going to take your work to yet another different level. So I mean I should really say that when I had started to think about what best can I give to this place, I should say that my work took a different trajectory altogether. So that is the next message I wanted to give. Then I would say that you should have three important goals in your career. The first goal I would say is continuing education. Okay, so wherever you are, I think it's really important to sort of consider this necessity to keep yourself updated wherever you are, whatever place you are in, whatever speciality or career that you are in. If you do not upgrade yourself, you become obsolete in your job, in your profession. Okay, so it's really important to keep expanding your knowledge and stay relevant to the current context. Okay, so I always kept that as my number one goal. Number two goal is to involve yourself in teaching, because wherever you are, whatever job you are in, you could teach somebody what you've learned. And then if there is an opportunity for you to really get into hardcore academics, like become a teacher, become a lecturer, I would highly recommend that you do that. Because when you teach, you learn. When you teach, you become more committed to learning, because you know that there are people who are dependent on you. Okay, you know that you are accountable to that group of students, because unless you learn, you excel, you can't teach, you can't transfer that knowledge. And when you teach, you also get multiple questions, so that you again go back and read, and then that becomes a beautiful cycle of constant learning, upgrading, transfer of knowledge, learning, transfer of knowledge. And then you move from the place of just having knowledge to sort of having wisdom. So I think it's really important to consider this goal of constant learning, and then transferring that learning in the form of teaching as your topmost goals in your career, whatever career that you may be in. Even if you are a homemaker, I would really suggest that you think about it, like what sort of skill sets you've learned and how you can transfer that. Okay, so that is the second message. And then the last message, in terms of goals that I had, was I always considered teamwork to be my topmost priority, because in the word team itself, as we know, it's together everyone achieves more. Because when we work together as a team, then each one of us really are able to achieve much more than what an individual can really achieve within that given time period. So I was blessed with beautiful team. As you see here, this is my team that I got to work with, and then there's yet another team that I'm both the teams that I'm continuing to work with. And so these teams really sort of, I would say, took my profession to yet another level, because they supported me so much. They stood with me throughout my job, throughout my career, and actually we grew together, I should say. So always it's important to build teams, and each one of us should consider ourselves as leaders in that context, because leader, as Robin Sharma's book says, leadership has no title. A leader has no title. Leadership is not a title. I mean, no one is going to come and tell you, I mean, you are a leader. Each one of us, wherever we are in our career, we are a leader. We can definitely build our teams and work together as a team. So I think each one of my team member that you see here are, they are leaders on their own. And that is the third goal that I had, and I think I was so blessed to be able to achieve that goal. And the next thing is coming back to the message that I wanted to give, which is, now that I'm making this big move of uh, as I said, I'm making a big transition in my career, right? So what really helped me to make this big transition, which is the last message that I had learned from my last 16 years of my professional journey, is the importance of mentoring. Wherever you are in your career, whether you are at the very beginning of the ladder, you just started your career, or you are at the topmost position, it is really important to have mentors. It's really important to have people that will guide you in your journey. I have had beautiful mentors in my profession, who really supported me throughout my journey. In fact, these mentors pointed out to me areas where I can improve. They pointed out to me my strengths, my weaknesses, and to mention some of these names. Dr. Badrinath, the founder of our organization, even when I was like a child in my profession and I had approached him for pursuing a fellowship, he had his total belief and faith and trust in me, and he let me explore my career. I mean, and that opened up a new path for just my overall life, I should say. So I'm ever indebted to my founder, and then my entire administration for that matter. And then the two most important people who shaped, who carved my professional life, I should say, are Dr. Meenakshi and Dr. Krishna Kumar, because their support in my career was really like, indeed, it's overwhelming, I should say, because they stood with me in every part of my journey and then guided me throughout my career. And so it's really important for you to have mentors. Now, currently, if you ask me, do I have a mentor? Yes, I do have these mentors with me. But apart from that, I also believe in the concept of reverse mentoring, which is to have mentors that are younger than you. Like, your students could be your mentors, because when you ask feedback from your students, I mean, they're very open, they're very sort of bold enough to give you feedback. So it's important to have mentors at any point of your life, like at any given point of your professional journey, because even you can have contemporary mentors, like your own classmates, your own batchmates, because it's always important to receive feedback, so that you can, as you see here, it's important for you to look at your career from somebody else's perspective, and that perspective is going to help you take wise decisions in your career. So it's really important to have mentoring as one of the important keys in your professional journey. Okay, so now coming back to this whole thing of from here to where. So many of you were asking, okay, so where are you moving? As I said, I had spent 20 years of my life in these two places. The, as I have shown here in Chennai, the two places that carved me, that shaped me, I mean, that taught me so many things in life. In fact, most of what I had learned in life, not just career, it was in these two places. Okay, beginning from all life's memorable lessons, to even some of the toughest journeys I had, these two beautiful organizations. I mean, they're the same organization, but they stood with me throughout. So I'm ever indebted to my alma mater, where I had spent, as I said, 2 decades of my life. So from here, where am I moving? I'm moving to yet another beautiful place, really in the far off land of the Caribbeans. I am moving to take up a lecturer position at the University of the West Indies, the St. Augustine campus in Trinidad and Tobago, an island that you would see here floating in. And so people would ask me, like, is it not scaring to really move from a place where you are well established to a really, like, a place where the culture is so different, people are so different, and you're going to start like your profession from scratch? But I would say that, I mean, I think this is what life has taught me, which is to always, like, make those hard decisions in life, and especially make those challenging career moves when your intuition tells you this is the time to make that move. And how did I really take that decision? As you see here, I was just making this in 2020, when so many challenging incidents happened. Okay, as Fleet Mall has, like, beautifully put it, uh, we lost loved ones, and then we had so many painful incidents. But when we really look at this aspect of life, which is death, sometimes, it looks inescapable, yes, but it is also very illuminating as such, because sometimes shows you what is really, like, your life's priority. Okay, and then it's important to take this lesson as not just painful. I mean, it's painful, but it doesn't have to take us down, and it doesn't have to destroy us. You can always look at what lesson you can take from here. And as Nassim Talib put it beautifully, wind extinguishes a candle and energizes a fire. So it always depends on how you utilize that wind. If you are a candle, then you might get blown off, but if you are a fire, then you might get sort of expanded with that wind. So especially when it comes to randomness and uncertainty and chaos and whatever, your life challenges, which is of course part and parcel of life. Necessarily, it need not take you down. You need not, like, escape from it. You need not run away from it. You would you have to be the fire, and you would want to use it like the wind. Okay, and then so always be like that fire and wish for the wind. And that's what is my wish for you as well, which is to really use this randomness and chaos to really become that magnificent self of yours. Okay, now how do you do that? As you know that the journey ahead looks pretty much, some of you had told when I had explained about this journaling habits. Some of you had expressed things like, it's pretty much overwhelming. How can we really do when there is no hope at all, when I don't see any light at the end of a tunnel? But I will ask you, my friend, what is the point in staying stuck? What is the point in staying frustrated? Because that's not going to help us to go anywhere. That's not going to take us anywhere. As well, let us stay optimistic. As well, let us just relook at our life's priorities and see what best we can do in this given moment of time, and how best we can serve, how best we can bring out the best in our own selves. I mean, so in that context, what I thought is that just have this one habit, which is, what is this one word that you are going to have as the theme word for the next year? So my theme word, I should say, is grace and flow. Because as you see here, I don't know, sometimes my animation might just screw up, but that's okay. My word for 2021 is grace and flow. Like, because I want to create a lot of things this year in 2021. And so I really want to channelize the energy that's coming through, and then use this grace that's present all along, that has guided my life, and then get into the flows that I'm able to create those beautiful things that I had wanted to create, to help people create the things that they want to create, to stay supportive of the team that is in need of my career, my help. Okay, and so that is my greatest wish for 2021, and the theme word that I had taken is grace and flow. So what is the theme word for you? It could be hope, it could be courage, it could be creativity, it could be pause, it could be slow down, whatever it is, it could be taking up challenges, whatever it is, take a theme word and then just look at this theme word, and then decide how you want to take your journey of 2021. Do not get carried away by this so much negativity that's hanging around, my friend. I mean, stay hopeful, because good things are really coming in. And with that, I would really want to wish you all with this thing that I had written up for 2021, which is, may this 2021 be the gateway into accepting the change, believing in the boundless, challenging the status quo, daring into the unknown, exploring the limitless, facing the fear, grounding into stillness, harnessing the power of hope, igniting our inner self, jarring into the unseen, and then kindling compassion and kindness, and letting go of the judgments and let the soul speak. And so, of course, I'm going to meet you soon, because as I'm in the transitioning period from one career to another, as you can expect, there's so much for me from the professional front. So I may not be, of course, that's the reason why I was not quite regular in uploading content. So hang around. I will definitely be back to upload contents on a regular basis the moment I'm able to settle into my next exciting career path. So until then, once again, thanks so much, and sending so much love to all of you for being a great source of support uh, with this uh, with this new adventure of mine. And I would sincerely request all of you to send me good wishes and prayers, so that I'm able to seamlessly make this transition from one career to another. And until I see you in the next episode, signing off with infinite love, gratitude, and bliss. This is yours once again. A very happy 2021, my beloveds.